Live. Welcome to MarsCast number 9. Now, let's see. We have a few leaks to go over. We have some aerospace stuff to go over. We have some new mod team members, which is really cool. Settlement stuff to talk about, and Chapter 12, and some Dusk profitability stuff. We'll touch on in a little bit here. Let me see if I can find this link to share, and we will get started. Felix, you got any tips for a new person? What
I
would
think
you
it's
what's a good tip
a
that someone needs to know?
yeah, it's a really interesting thing at the moment because it's actually a really, really good time to start because a
Mhm.
lot of the prices are well down. You can get a hold of legendary buildings pretty easily, and they are what 300-400 dusk for some of the core buildings. So if you wanted to go that way, um, what would I do? I'm assuming that you've got to a point where, as a new player, you've got a land or you've bought an access badge and you've got a little bit.
Mhm.
I would probably focus trying to be dusk neutral at least, but get some skill. Pick your skill that you want to do. It's going to become more and more important to be um, earning the XP into the skill sets that you want to play. 50 seems to be a fairly standard area where actually you want to be focusing to try and get to. But how you achieve that? Well, you're looking at picking up sort of simple tasks like maybe filter water. I check the profitability on some of that now, um, and maybe some more of those basic tasks. What else have I got here? Yeah, ferment sorghum one. Has that got skill level? No, that's all right. But yeah, so basically some of those
Mhm.
smaller tasks, just to try and make one or two dusks to make sure you're ticking over. But it's all about getting the XP for me. Really is.
That sounds great. Any tasks in particular you're thinking like for new people?
Well, yeah. So filter water, ferment sorghum's profitable.
Mhm.
I use DigiPedro on this. It's a great website.
Facts.
Um,
You want to share a screen at all? You can bring
I
it up.
can do.
Yeah, someone can see it. Like if you're new, DigiPedro is a fantastic site for just kind of figuring out like maybe what you could run to earn a little dusk in game to expand.
So this is the DigiPedro site that I use. Um, you able to fire
Yep.
that up for us?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I have it set at one dusk per cell. I actually spend probably around 1.3. If you're a newer player, you might be paying. Well, you can either use your own to do uh, Power Cell 1 if you've got your own solar panels, which you will start with. Um, but yeah, so simple things like the water filter. I leave my stamina as job because it's roughly one dusk of stamina. I use a mix of well, Slava Ukraini. I always eat feast um, because that's the most stamina, and your own stamina is the most valuable because that's the one
Mhm.
which gets you XP. Um, Jobbing it out to the market for them to fill your orders doesn't give you XP, and that's what you're really going to want early on. But it's things like filter water here. It's not massively profitable, but it will earn you a little bit, and what it will do is give you a little bit of skill. Um, if you wanted to go down the machining route, for example, uh, yeah, you got to be careful. So things like the titanium plates are negative,
Right.
aluminium plates are negative. One other one which people do quite like is the smelter. So there's some
Ooh,
nice tasks in here um,
smelt
for,
aluminum. I wonder what does that take for
well,
skill?
that's 30, but
30.
smelt,
Okay.
yeah, smelt glass is 10. I think the silicon crystals are 0. There you go.
Okay.
Um, and that will get you a little bit and get you into the mining profession, and then it's just building up from there. What else? So if you want to do chemistry, it's a bit difficult. Split water will get you a little bit. Hydrogen has been going up.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so you can normally start most of them. Um, if you are really struggling to build some experience, some of these down here, the electronics 101 in the library, if you do have a very basic library, you can do the 101s in most of them. But it just gets you off the ground because you just want to start to try and get that experience.
Right.
Um, at the early days, you're not going to make lots of dusk. Even at the higher levels, you don't make masses, but
Mhm.
it certainly scales up quite well.
Yeah, a lot of those library tasks look pretty good too.
At the higher levels, some of these are really good.
Mhm.
Um, and also give you very good XP.
What's a really good lower level one?
Well, anything 101. So electronics here is quite good. Um,
Mhm.
one of the ones which I quite liked was the basic seed study, because it just gives you a whole set of seeds, and then you can grow some of these in the greenhouse. So what we've got, sprout. Sprout won't be very good. Lettuce probably, but I think there was sweet potato in there,
Look
if I
at
remember
that.
right.
Just about everything you plant is decent.
Yeah, it's not going to be
It's not
lots.
massive, but if you're just starting out and you have depending on what building you get, I would probably get maybe one tier lower than you could reach for. Like so maybe you could get a legendary, but I would take an epic leveled up over a legendary. So that would be my suggestion.
Yeah, so the legendaries are very expensive to level. Very, very
Right.
expensive. The
Yeah.
only advantage of them is that you gain access. So certainly the legendary greenhouse, you'll be able to
Mhm.
plant all of these seeds from level one. Um, they have oh, I can't- yeah. Yeah, they have lots of different seeds opened up instantly. You don't need to level the building to be able to plant them. So that is the one advantage of legendary. But yeah, to level it is very expensive. I think I spent around about 2,000 dusk just to get it from basic to max. So yeah.
Cool. Just want to say hello to Babster or Bapster. We got we got Babster, we got Paul in the chat, we got Match MC. Is that Match from the team?
that's that's match.
We should get Match in here.
We do. We should get match
Yeah,
in it.
yeah. No pressure. But
Yeah.
let's see, we got
So
Crypto Nerd 30. So we're actually live on YouTube and Twitch. So
oh
yeah. Yeah, we're spreading the message. Mars is
well,
habitable now. Come join
your
us.
technical skills have increased no end.
It's gone up. It's gone up. Mr.
Um,
Producer. All right, let me go.
so
What's
did you
that?
want to talk about mods? I mean that might be
Might as
given that we've
well.
got match here.
Yeah, go for it. New
So
mod team?
yeah,
What's going
new
on?
mod team. So we've got three of them: Match,
Mhm.
Ari, and Moorcox. Moorcox was on a couple of weeks ago, wasn't he?
Right.
But yeah, so we ought to get the others on, and yeah, good job for those guys volunteering to help out. It's a tough role, and certainly, yeah, I'm pleased to have them aboard. They're all knowledgeable guys, really,
Mhm.
really do know what they're talking about, and actually, I mean, I learn a lot from them all the time. So yeah, if you need anything, those guys are good guys to talk to.
Oh, that's awesome. What is their role? Do you know like what they're gonna be doing? Their day-to-day stuff?
I think just interacting with the community within
Mhm.
Discord, I think that's their predominant focus. To be honest, I don't know the full remit of what they're trying to do. Um, yeah, we should get one of them on and tell us what they're up to.
Yeah. If someone knows
Be
in the
good.
chat, just let us know. Let us know what is their role. Congrats to them though. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it is really
Yeah.
cool. And actually, the
Yeah.
game's better for having them because they are, as I said, great people.
100%. You know, when I read that message and I think there was a form for it, I instantly thought, like, man, Felix should do this.
And do you know what? I absolutely would do. I love the game, and everybody knows how passionate I am about it.
Mhm.
I just don't have the time to focus on it and actually do it justice. It would be
That's fair.
unfair to the game for me to, yeah, to sort of dip in and dip
Mhm.
out. It needs a lot more constant interaction than I can provide.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So that's why I didn't.
Nope, totally understand. So we do have that leak that was posted earlier today of the glittered
Oh yeah,
icon.
yeah. Now this proper hype about this.
Let me see if I can pull this up.
I mean, I really want to theory craft this one because if they're dropping glitter leaks,
Yeah.
are we close? Are we almost there?
Uh, I
I mean, it'll
I
be
think
amazing.
so. I think this is like our our 1 to 3 week warning, you
I
know?
hope so. I'd love that to be the case. We've been
Yeah.
talking. I mean, look at that. Super
Boom.
cool.
There we go.
And it's so integral to the story now that I can
Mhm.
talk about it, having read about it. Um,
It's in the story.
oh, big style is
Y
everywhere.
You're ahead of me now. You went from yeah, you didn't read a word of it, and now you passed me.
Yeah. So no, it's riddled throughout. So, but no,
Mhm.
super big hype for it. Get rid of the minting tokens. Let's get this in. Let's talk about how we leverage this within the game. And I think actually it's going to change how we look at it because you're not
Mhm.
just going to be earning dusk to try and sell an alcohol. You're going to want the glitter. It's going to be valuable
Yeah.
and it's going to provide different a different reward. So you may actually go out for a task to go and get glitter specifically and get no dust for it, or even a chance to get glitter. It all depends how valuable it's actually going to be. So
I'm definitely curious about it. I know that it was originally gonna be part of the minting process, but had to maybe punt it off to the minting token for a while. Supposedly the minting token will stay, so maybe
you
Glitter will
think?
do something. Yeah, oh, it was mentioned.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it was
oh,
based off a comment you said because you kind of said like, oh, then the minting token's going to be gone or something. It was in our one of our casts too, I think with Mitch
oh,
and
was it? Okay.
or
Not
Eric,
paying
but
attention.
yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
I really felt that the minting token was a kind of a placeholder for glitter. But
yeah.
I mean, let's see. I mean,
I mean, it might have
in
another
reality,
role or
yeah.
maybe an add-on. I mean, you might just sprinkle it on top, just a little.
bit of bit of flavoring with a dusk cherry.
Yeah, a little Salt Bay, you know? You know who that is?
Oh, don't. Match will be
Come
all
on.
over you. He's out
Oh,
harvesting most of the time.
oh man. Yeah, I
But
don't know.
yeah,
So,
so
I
I'm
guess we'll
really looking
find out
forward to it.
soon?
Yeah, well, it's. I think anything like this drives
Mhm.
new players to the game. And as I said before, I think it's a great time to start. It is difficult. There's a lot to learn now. Certainly, when I started, it was a lot more basic.
Yeah,
You kind of planted your seeds, you kind of got your food, and it was a really easy task. Everything was profitable.
right.
But so now it does take a little bit more effort, does take a little bit more thought, and actually having the communities to go to discuss this stuff is really important.
That's true.
But
That
yeah,
is true. Let me get this off the screen. I'm excited for it.
oh, big star,
Wait, I have
big
another
star.
question. Are you going to be a Glitter founder?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's no debating that.
Yeah.
So now,
I didn't even think about it. There was no
no.
lag at all. You were just like, "Yes."
So I did pose the
Mhm.
question a while ago. Is the Glitter Founder still going to be a thing, or is it going to be part of the Founders Program? I kind of got the impression, I didn't get a clear cut answer, that actually it's still in the process. It's still being worked. I know Glitter Founder was talked about. It was something like $1,000 or $1,500 to be a
Mhm.
Glitter Founder, but I don't think that actually it's finalized. I think that
Okay.
might move. Um, Gut feel, I feel there's something on the horizon for the Founders Token. I really do. I don't think they're going to let it just peter out into just a token to gain access to the Discord channel.
Mhm.
Because with the Founders Token, you've got the drops ending relatively soon. In fact, I think any day now, kind of thing. Um,
'Kay.
but you get glitter with the Founders Token anyway. That was one of the things they committed to, and you get a reduction on your glitter withdrawal fee. But I think until we get glitter, until we actually see what's going on with all of this,
Yeah.
I think it's all up in the air a little bit. All I feel, and I don't have
Mhm.
anything to back it up on, is that they won't let Founders Token just die.
I think you're right. And I'm basing that off of, that conversation we had when Carrie was here. She
Mm.
did briefly say that something about, like, it's Yeah, it's gonna have some stuff for a while. I
I
forget
felt
if she used the word years or something else, but I have to go back and watch it. So
so. A little bit of theory crafting.
yeah,
There's a new tournament out in the game for access badges,
yeah.
which the guys have been desperate to get rid of for a very, very long time.
Hmm.
Um, so it's a nice little tournament to burn some of those, and I'm pleased they've done it that way. One of the rewards is the founder's token. In fact, the top reward is the founder's token. There's no way they're going to issue out a reward which is meaningless.
Right, right. I mean, it's worth it just for the. I mean, to me, even just for the chat.
The
Like
chat's good.
I do. I
Yeah,
feel left out, like because I'm not one, and I know
yeah.
there's some goodies in there. Maybe in a little advance that you guys get, and plus it's just kind of cool. Like you're with the cool kids. I don't know. It's
Wow,
just that.
there are some cool
Yeah,
kids. It's not
it's
me,
that
but yeah,
FOMO, right? Yeah, it's just that
you
you are.
do.
Yeah.
You do get
Mhm.
some sensible conversations in there, and it is really, really nice to talk to people who are also very passionate about it.
Facts.
Because those people are committed, they've bought the token, so they've invested a lot just in the token itself. They're still not. I don't know how much they are on the second-hand market at the moment.
Oh, you want to pull it
Quick
up?
look. I was just gonna have a quick look.
Yeah, have a quick look. Last time I seen, they were like, I want to say between 250 and 350
Yeah, is that what you're going for?
USD. I'd say they're probably around 275.
Damn.
It's hard to say. Thinker got his on a deal, and then it went back up. He found someone who was selling it probably like 70 under. I think they just needed the money or something. But
Yeah, let me.
price went back up after he bought. So
Oh, he timed it perfectly then.
he did. I was actually surprised. I didn't know he was in the market for one. So let's
Well,
see
I
what we
mean,
got here.
it is a good thing, and the fact that you do get glitter with it anyway. But
Yep.
there you go. So this is where at the moment. So lowest kind of $225. There's a
Hmm.
few around that area. So and there's quite a few. Another page as well. So yeah, there's quite a few. Um,
Oh,
certainly
good deal.
well worth a look.
Yeah, it's been
Anyway,
good. In hindsight, are you glad that you got it?
oh absolutely,
Nice.
yeah, yeah,
That is
yeah.
cool.
No, it was one of the things I saved up for very early on,
Hmm.
and I paid a lot more than that. But yeah, yeah, it's been really good. I've learned a lot from the team, and yeah, been able to interact, to understand and contribute my views as to what I think.
Yeah. And it just gets you around the team a little bit more where you kind of get their mindset. And
It
I don't
was
know.
important for me as well because we always wanted to establish the guild.
Right.
So having that access and being able to talk to the guys about it, because I didn't know how to go and buy a guild, and actually we've not
Mm.
gone through the proper route at all. We've kind of done it our own way.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's yeah, it was an important point to do.
100%. Good deal. So, Glitter founder, soon to be Glitter founder, Felix.
Soon to be, soon to be.
Yeah. Are
I
you ready to buy it?
yeah,
That's
just don't
that's a
tell the
tough one.
missus. Just don't tell the missus. There was some interesting bits with the whole glitter release, and I don't know if people have
Mm.
read the glitter white paper at all.
Mhm.
Um, I should see if I can dig out the link on it. But there were some interesting bits around glitter staking as well, which would and
Mm.
some really nice. And I don't know if this is going to vary as well, but there was Martisan rewards for the staking. So you could
Mhm.
stake 50,000 glitter, I think was the top end one, which was quite a lot of money. But you were guaranteed to get a very high level Martisan as part of that. Um, and it was quite a long time frame. You're talking, I think it was almost a year, might even been two, to stake
Really?
it. Yeah, yeah. So you're
I don't
talking
remember that
really
in the
long.
paper, but maybe I skipped that page.
Yeah, there's a special glitter um, paper which was being floated around. I can find a link later. Um, but yeah, there was lots that they were looking to do with it.
Mhm.
But those staking missions look really worthwhile, and there were lesser ones as well, which gave different rewards as well. But
Yeah.
I'll see if I,
I know that's one thing that kind of attracted me to some of the stuff they have in game, like the rovers, they have the rover staking for land, which you lock
Yeah,
up some dust for, and then at the end of like 30 days, 60 days, or 90, you get a nice land out of it, and the dust back from your staking. Thought that was
yeah,
really cool. Then it kind of incentivizes people to basically not sell and to stake,
yeah,
and just kind of get that loop going. I think I would enjoy doing some of that with the glitter token if it's available or whatever.
yeah. And I think it's kind of a thing that they want to do a little bit more of is the
Hmm.
staking. Um, yeah, I don't know how far they'll take it.
I heard that seeds might be that way.
Seeds were definitely going to be that way. We
Yeah,
haven't seen any more detail on it, um, but in reality, I think it's going to be a nice little way for the seed houses. I'm calling them seed houses. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be called that.
seed houses.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
Nice.
it's a thing, isn't it? I'm sure it was.
Maybe.
Maybe you're not
Maybe.
convinced.
No, I'm not. Not at all.
Yeah,
You could tell, huh?
yeah.
All right.
I know. I have far too many different words for everything, which it really isn't called. I'm just trying to
While
find
you're
this
pulling that
glitter
up,
thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna put up the ground control image, which I think is awesome. This is
Yeah.
our Ether leak, which if you're in Discord, you've probably seen this. Ground control. Get your concrete ready. Okay. If it's not
Yes.
ready by tomorrow, too bad. This thing is dropping.
Right, I've
I'm
got it.
kidding. I don't know when it's dropping, but
I found it. So we can move on to it in a sec. Let me show you
okay.
this. Um, let me
You
share
pulling up that
screen.
glitter thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hide the thing I'm showing then.
There you go.
Oop. All right, let's see.
So this was the original glitter white paper. Um, now in it, it's got some glitter tokenomics.
Mhm.
But there was this.
Baxter says the founders chat is an amazing place.
It is an amazing place. He is absolutely right. So, depending on how much glitter you staked, so 100, 500, it was 50k, but you
Mhm.
then got the duration, some glitter back as a reward, but also these mystery boxes. I mean,
Huh. Oh,
the
duration 25 days, 100
yeah,
days,
so the
5,000.
50k
Okay.
so it was almost a year, and you ended up with this mystery and an artifact.
Wow. An
Yeah,
artifact baron. What
yeah,
is that? We don't even know what that is.
correct. Just it was just a whole load of I want
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of glitter to stake. Oh no, that
I
was the reward. Sorry, it was 50k to stake, and then you got double your money back.
Mhm.
But the reality is, there's only like one or two of these.
Wow.
So yeah, so you got the Martisan and an artifact and a mystery box 5. Now I think,
I'd do it.
yeah.
I'd for sure do the 100-day.
Well,
I
the
know
two and
I've
a
played more than
half.
100 days already.
I mean, see, this is where the whole bizarre thing and printing loads of legendary blueprints has kind of
Mhm.
devalued some of this. So I think a lot of it will change.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, there was some interesting things on in here.
They just gotta bump it up to mythic, obviously. I'm
Yeah,
kidding. I'm kidding.
uh, yeah,
It's so cool though. I mean, I don't know. They'll probably play around with it a bit.
and then there was the glitter founder in here as well.
I'll do it just for that box. They
Yeah,
had me
so
at
I
mystery.
didn't know. I don't know if the box was explained anywhere what was in it. I don't think it is. I think it's just
Mhm.
a mystery box. So I mean, it's kind of like buy the black bag. You no idea what's in it. But
Right.
anyway, so that was that one.
That is cool. That is cool. All right. I look
So
forward to that. That'd be cool. Figure it
yeah,
out. It'll be exciting as we get closer. Because if they're, you're right. If they're sharing the icon now, we're
well that's it, isn't
probably
it?
kind of close. We don't know. Me and you don't know for sure.
Absolutely
So
don't know.
like, yeah.
I mean, all I'm hoping from it is that the
Yeah.
lawyers are now happy.
Okay.
If that's they've released it because they've hit that stage and that they
Uh-huh.
just see that there's an easier path to the release,
Mhm.
I'm happy. I'm absolutely happy
I like
because the
that.
lawyers are the ones which are just such an unpredictable entity. You
Mhm.
just don't know how long it's going to take.
Gotcha. Can you see the screen?
I can indeed.
All right. What do you think? Aerospace, ground control.
Is it me? Or so, I mean, I know that they've got a new art guy, but
Yeah.
this is starting to look way cooler.
Oh yeah.
Don't you
Facts.
think?
Uh-huh. I think
It
so.
just looks way cooler. So what's this supposed to be? The command
Ground
control
control.
center? Ground control.
It looks like a spaceship itself. Like it could lift off. It looks like it's got a laser on it or two.
Is
Um,
that a laser?
I mean, look
Oh
at the thing on the
man.
side. It looks like it rotates and then
Yeah.
possibly, yeah. But if it's ground control, no. But
Hmm.
um, yeah,
Oh, it could just be a. Oh, I don't know.
who
Oh, it looks
knows?
cool though.
It's definitely got a satellite on it, and
Definitely.
some power cells or some whatever, some
Power.
solar
Well, it's going to
stuff.
be power cores. I would have thought.
Yeah,
I don't think you'll be able to power it with power cells at all.
yeah, with the solar cells,
Yeah, it's going to have to be
probably
power
not. It almost
cores.
looks like it has like a solar grid on it.
Yeah, that's just coolness effects.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet.
So, what do you reckon it's going to do?
What would a ground control do? I guess. I mean, it makes sense if like it was like an actual city, right? And there's a bunch of ships coming and going to manage.
Yeah.
I don't know in the
Is
sense
it?
like because we're by ourselves technically, right? Like I have my plot, you have yours.
Hmm.
Barring settlements, but yeah, I just don't know what it's going to do exactly. Do you have any
So,
idea? What do you think?
I kind of see it as parallel to the rover works. So, by it being ground control, it's kind of
Yeah.
like air traffic control. And that kind of
Mhm.
controls how many planes you can have in the sky. So, I could see it along that sort of line. So,
Mhm.
it's in essence the rover works equivalent of your spaceships, how many you can have in the sky. I don't know, maybe.
Hmm. Oh, I was assuming this was for aerospace.
Yeah, yeah, you say aerospace, but how many
Yeah.
spaceships can you have launched? Because without it, you're just going to
Mhm.
crash them. I don't know. I'm making stuff up,
I mean,
but
you obviously need something, right? You need a way to communicate when people are doing, like, mining on other planets, probably.
yeah.
It could just be a communications link
I
or
mean,
like the launching, like hub.
yeah. I mean, it is
Yeah,
interesting. There's supposed to be 7 buildings in this aerospace setup.
7. Do you know them
7.
all?
No? I mean, I could guess that one's a launch pad. That would make
Right.
sense.
Mhm.
But that's 2.
I
I
hope
mean,
it's like,
we had another leak as well, didn't we? We had a third.
oh, we did?
Yeah. So if you've got this thing,
Yep.
I
We
mean,
still don't know what that is.
Mitch posted it so it could be cooking, but I mean, that looks fairly heavy duty for a
It's
oven.
that food processor.
I'm gonna say it's a bit.
Yeah. I mean, someone did say centrifuge. It definitely has like a centrifuge kind of design on the top.
Yeah.
When I was like thinking about it one day, just whatever, when I was mowing, I was like, oh, maybe it's a big laser, but it doesn't look like it's got like an opening to shoot anything.
You just
So,
want a big weapon, don't you? That's
yes,
what.
just give me a reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I just want to shoot
Yeah.
something.
Right. Right. Yeah. So,
But seven's an awful lot. I mean, I can see something like an asteroid capture or processing plant, or
mhm.
I mean, that's 3.
Yeah, I think your
Then I'd
launch pad
struggle.
is definitely correct. I mean, not definitely, but obviously,
Yeah,
if ships are
it
coming and
makes
going,
sense.
should be one. I hope they do it like the SpaceX one. Have you seen it?
No.
They've got one, and I don't know when they exactly use it, but basically, the ship comes in.
Yeah.
This thing kind of like catches it, moves it over, puts it down, and then it's ready to receive the next one. It moves back over. It's like a claw game.
That's insane.
It
I mean,
is. Yeah.
well, he's got
You
some
know,
great ideas, but yeah.
it's pretty wild. Like how far they've come in a short time. I think I don't know.
Yeah.
To be honest, I feel like they're blowing NASA away, but
I mean, I remember watching Thunderbirds as a kid and watching was it Thunderbird 5? I'm trying to remember that. But it was a rocket which landed just like the rockets land from SpaceX.
Yeah.
And it does exactly the same landing style. And I thought, gee whiz, I never anticipated there would actually be computer controlled landing of rockets vertically.
Right. I'm just glad they're reusing them now. You know what I mean? Reusing
Yeah.
more parts because I mean, it was kind of wasteful before.
Didn't he say that he wanted to make sure that you could reuse all the parts? It wasn't necessarily for the Earth re-entry, it was actually for the Mars re-entry because you can't rebuild it on Mars.
Well, yeah, it's a lot harder if you need something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you've got nothing there.
yeah. How many miles away is it? A
Yeah,
lot.
it's
A
all right. We'll
lot.
send Bob out to go and get a spare part. Kind of doesn't
Yeah.
happen, does it? So
Yeah. All right, fun question.
yeah,
When seriously a human on Mars?
5 years. I reckon we'll see
5?
it in 5.
You are I mean, that'd be massive. That'd be
I
huge.
mean, if we got to the point where we're willing to sling a spaceship at an asteroid just to see if we can make it wobble a
Oops.
bit,
Oh.
you're right. I mean, that was a crazy idea. I
Okay, I'm
mean,
sure someone's done it. Have they
well,
done
no, they
it?
didn't. It was the NASA dart that they threw at an asteroid just to make sure if it.
Right, in case we
They
need
they
defense.
wanted to be a yeah. If in case an
Mhm.
asteroid came towards Earth, they wanted
Right.
to make sure that they could move it enough for it not to hit Earth. And I'm like,
Makes sense.
you're kind of asking for trouble here, just messing around with trying to make asteroids go out of orbit a little bit. Surely this sounds like a
Yeah.
very dangerous game to be playing.
What if they hit it towards us? That like, oh no, whoops.
Yeah, whoopsie.
My
Mr.
bad.
President, we've got a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I think we'll see it soon.
5
Because
years.
I think
I
that they'll be talking about a man to Mars mission in
Mhm.
that time. Whether we've actually got him there or not, it'll probably take them 5 years to actually do it. But all of this stuff is prep for it.
I'm gonna say 30 years because we haven't gone that not nearly that far in a long time. We need refueling stations probably on the way there with how much goods we're trying to transport. So we need like refueling station, more
Yeah.
space stations. You need some in between stuff, you
You
know?
just need Matt Damon.
Yeah, that's all you
That's all
need.
you need.
Yep. Yep. I'm thinking 30 years.
30 years. Okay.
30
Well, I'll be dead
years.
by then. Thanks for that.
You'll be here. You got at least until 120.
120?
You're not gonna stick around that long?
No, I'm an old man. I'll be well dead by then.
Oh, come on. All right.
Yeah.
Let's jump back on track.
Go on then.
Settlements. The
Yeah,
some roles. It seems
they
like
did.
we are
They
starting to
did.
get some stuff. What do you think? Is there some more that we could
We
use?
need more. We do
We need
need
more.
more. Um, so the 5 were great and they are
Mhm.
good. Um, you can evict, you can um, accept, you can do reports, you can collect from the guild, from the settlement, and there's got different roles for each different level. And the member has access, and you can choose. Which I think the big thing for me on it was the ability to choose premium buildings versus non-premium buildings, and
Mhm.
give them a marker to say, "Do you know what? You can do this." I think that was probably taking a lot of effort to do. It needs another round. It needs either. I really wanted the whole um, free user to have the ability to have a dust charge or not, for a monthly subscription, or not. And that'll be up to guild managers to decide. But the big thing that's missing for me is the ability to actually run the settlement. So things like putting in power, putting in water, starting tasks. So
Mhm.
we have some guild missions which we do purely for the guild to generate funds, like rovers or habitats or
Mhm.
libraries for knowledge because we want guild skills. So libraries as well. But to be able to get not just the guild account to be able to do those and set them running would be really useful. That's still missing, and it's I can understand why. There's a lot of effort in trying to get that off the ground,
Right.
whilst at the same time they're trying to release aerospace and cooking because Mitch and um, Eric are very, very hands on with those, trying to get them working. So I can understand why those aspects aren't there. but it would be
Mhm.
nice to get them added. It really would.
Makes sense. I think that's what Steve Woody was talking about when he was here too, like just someone to help because he's got so many buildings and he's such a busy person in general. He doesn't really have a lot of time to do everything, and most of his
Correct.
stuff just sits because he just can't do it.
I think running a settlement is very, very time consuming. And the roles are a step towards trying to simplify it, and they do help to some extent, but it takes hours. Certainly, if you
Mm,
want to grow the guild, um, yeah, you need to generate dusk within it. It is its own separate entity, and we're spending 4 or 5 hours a day just trying to run it and keep it going. Well, Thinker is, but yeah, it's
mhm.
it's just demanding, which is fine because we enjoy it, and that's what we're here for as a community, and have a platform for everyone to build off of.
Yeah,
But yeah, it just needs a touch more.
makes sense. Yeah, I know the settlement's been growing too, so that's good. I know it's
We
not
did our
always
first
easy.
financial report. We
That's
were
cool.
very happy with it. So the settlement has grown 5 times, I think it was, over the past sort of 6 months.
Since
So
we initially started.
yeah, so if you take the value
Wow.
of the settlement now, and if you compared it to what we invested at the outset, it's grown by 5 times.
Mm,
Of course, you wouldn't be able to sell it all. It's more of a case of what would it cost to buy the stuff that we've got now.
right.
Yeah, and it was almost 1 million dusk to buy it all.
That's insane.
It was insane.
Wow, that's cool. I read the report, but I must have missed that part there.
So very proud, very pleased with all the guys, and building a good, strong community. So I'm very happy
Oh,
with that.
very good. Oh, hey, we got some answers on the years thing. So looks like Bapster says 10 years, Heba says 15, and then there was a forever comment, but I don't know if that was for that or not. But yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah,
15. I'm sticking
perhaps.
with my 30.
Yeah, you see, we kind of. I mean, to be honest, I'd love to see it before I died. That would be. That would
That would
make
be
it.
cool.
I missed the lunar ones, so
Honestly, I think we all did. Yeah.
I didn't miss it by much,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I
um,
mean,
but yeah,
yeah.
it's my dad kept a newspaper from the day of my birth, and in it it's got
That's
all
cool.
about NASA
That's
stuff
cool.
on the moon, and yeah, it's
It
good.
would have been an interesting time to be alive and conscious about that stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I
we
mean?
just
Just to
I,
see it all unfold.
yeah, it's just the Cold War stuff I could do without, but
Yep,
yeah,
yeah, that part, yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. So we talked about settlements, the mod team. Da, 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 da. Chapter 12 is here.
Yes, so quick highlight for everybody. If you've lost your complete all button in
Mhm.
your chapters, it's probably because you haven't got chapter 12. So the way that the complete all button works is if you own all the chapters at that point in time, you will have the complete all button. If you had it because you had 11 and they released 12 and you've lost it, that's probably why.
Facts. Yep,
I
it's a
haven't read it yet though. It is there for me to read, and I
yeah.
am desperate to do it.
I didn't buy it yet. I still need it. So
Oh man.
working on it. I was a little short. I showed you the picture of that, but
Yeah.
um
I think it
yeah.
sold out for Dusk.
Yeah, not the soul one. The 1000 dusk one sure did. And that's one
Yeah.
I could do like right now, but yeah. I'll have to wait for the refill on that one.
Yeah, I think they will refill it.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I had the collect all button, and since I was really bad about collecting my pages before the collect all button, I was still bad at collecting all my pages with the collect all
Really?
button. Yeah, I did it twice out of like 5 days, and now my button's gone. So,
No.
yeah.
I mean, all that effort, you just wasted it. Oh
Yeah, I sure did. I sure
man.
did.
I've done mine pretty religiously since, so I'm quite pleased because yeah,
Mhm.
it's good actually. I like it. But
That's fair. The last topic we have is just the dust profitability.
oh, do you want to bring up alcohol, or did we want to talk about Dusk in general, or?
Yeah, whatever works. I'd say maybe just bring up Digi and just take a look at a
Okay.
few things that might be. if someone's struggling, maybe they can check out some of these other tasks. We don't have to like get real
Well,
loop
okay,
heavy
let's
with
talk
it.
about both of these then. So let's
Okay.
talk about the task to start with. Do you want me to share?
Yeah. It might even be on screen already. You have Digi up?
Yeah, yeah, I've got it. Let me share it. Just refresh it. So, got it. Awesome. So for me, there's a couple of bits. I tend to like to filter this all by building it one at a time, because if you put all
Mhm.
of it in, it all gets a little bit chaotic all very quickly. And then a lot of these tasks, so the Cantina coin, yeah, you only really can do if you've got a Cantina, because you can't sell them. Um, Things like Wasillas and um, basically you're going to be making a habitat. They do sell, but very, very, very slowly.
Right.
Um, One which I wanted to make people aware of. So let's get rid of all this. Let's talk about the thorium reactor a sec. So Digi kind of shows, look, aren't these massively profitable? Well, that's fine up until the point when you go into it and realize that there's no cost for the thorium or uranium, which are probably the two most expensive parts.
Mhm.
Although you don't use much uranium, so I think I worked out this to be around about 18 dusk and this to be around about 50. So you're talking sort of 65 dusk here in cost, which Digi hasn't captured, which makes this price 120 for a full energy core an absolute bargain.
Right.
Because you add 60 dusk onto here, you're talking 133. Um, so what is a profit now isn't.
Mhm.
Certainly when you add them into these ones as well, these may be slightly better, but in reality,
Yeah, you just gotta be
given
careful
the
with some of the new stuff.
yeah,
Make
you
sure the
just
build cost is fully implemented in
just
there.
be really careful.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff, and one of the things which I do, which I'm not sure everyone does, but if you look at what's a good example? So habitats. So if you look at so Mars B&B, for example, actually it's come
Mhm.
up quite a lot now. So these are the settings I have. Everybody's will vary slightly. Um, Most of it is food. So what you can do is, if you were doing Mars B&B, for example, is you can loop in the food production as well. Now, this shows that actually we've got 1.3 verse in the task of profit, but the reality is you're going from 28.3 dusk to 31. So you've actually got nearer 3 dusk. And the reason why this shows less is because it takes out the tax. But if you spin it out from the soil, the food, straight into a habitat, because the habitat works on you buying the food, the math becomes slightly wrong.
Oh,
So,
because yeah, no tax.
because you end up with no tax. So you actually end up recognizing around 3 dusk for the soy task
Mhm.
instead of your 1.2, and you still make the same sort of profit on the Mars B&B. It is a variable task, there is variance, and it's an average and all that sort of good stuff. But that way you can string together multiple levels of profitability to actually make a little bit more dusk. So, for example, another one, I'll get rid of this, is
Did you
that
see
if you
the
can.
sorry, did you
Hmm?
see the message from Moorcox? He said maybe he said, "Yeah, it would be funny if the button was gone until Felix read all the chapters again."
Oh, do you know
That
what,
might be
Moorcox?
why the button is gone. Felix has not read all
Because
the
I haven't read
chapters.
it yet.
Come on, mate.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. I had to use your language there for a second.
Oh, really? Was that it? That was the worst accent I think I've ever
No,
heard.
the mate. There's no accent with mate. It's just okay, mate, mate. I
Yeah.
can't do it. Not under pressure.
Anyway, thank you,
All
mate.
right. Yeah. All right.
Anyway, so if we go here, for example, uh, yeah, this is a good example.
Mhm.
All right, ice mining 3. If you span that out, yes, you'd have to have a decent mining skill for it,
Yep.
but that's kind of 5.4 dust profit for that task, slightly more than this. But if you then span that into, say, filter water 3, you end up with quite a nice mini loop and then just sell water. You can sell water until the cows come home because
Mhm.
yeah, there's just loads of it.
High
Uh,
volume on water.
high volume on
Very
water.
high. And I've been buying water lately myself because I've just not running my rigs as much.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Moorcox is absolutely right. Educating yourself on how to use these is really important because you don't just look at a task. For example,
Mhm.
um, sort of reg mining one here and go, actually, that's terrible. I only make this. Actually, you end up making a little bit more, and you can then do something else like it. So things like smelt silicon, for example. So if you went into that task, which is quite nice, you end up
Mhm.
stringing together a nice little pair, which helps increase your profitability.
Yeah.
So it's a case of don't
Rolling
just look
profits.
for bespoke one-off tasks, and there are some which you could just do as well. I mean, if you bought all your regolith aluminium at the moment, sorry, aluminum in your language, and did that, you'd make some.
Thank you.
But, but you've got to look at the volumes of the markets and that sort of thing. So
Mhm.
there's plenty of places to make money. It all comes down to skill in the end, which is why I started off by saying, as a new player, level up your skills. But there's plenty to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and
I
there's
mean,
loads of tasks that don't even have gates yet. They vary in profitability. You just gotta look around, but there's always something to do on Mars.
Ari has a very nice sheet which is in the Discord. Let me see if I can find it because
Okay. Anybody have any
it's an
questions while he's looking for that? Let me know.
share this
Questions, comments, concerns.
tab. This one. So this is referenced in the Discord. Is this coming up?
Yep, 1 second. Okay.
So in it, he does a number of really cool things in it. So it tells you
Yeah.
how much XP you need for each level. That's really useful. But if you pick a skill, say chemistry, say you want to become a chemist, he actually
Mhm.
lists it over to the right. At what levels can you make what things? So you don't
Oh,
have to
cool.
go around hunting. Um, and it also tells you which ones, there's a level requirement box here, which ones give you the most XP. And he is so good at keeping it up to date. It
Nice.
really does help. And it has been used to flag up some concerns that some of them are a little bit out of sync. And the team have used it to help educate and get the XP in the right places.
Mhm.
But there's one for each skill. So you can go and pick whichever one you want to have a look at and just make sure you're making the right thing. So a really, really useful sheet.
Oh, definitely. I like that. I know I used it quite a bit when I was leveling up skills to see what was the
Yeah.
best per, per stam or whatever.
And then the other thing we were going to talk about was this.
Yeah.
So company, right. So I think it was
Mhm.
Matches asked me a couple of times, how do you find out who is buying what? So there's a big order here for about 2 million dusk, I think it must
Mhm.
be. If you pick one of these wax orders over here for the same price, you can click on it. Oh, I bet that's not going to bring it up, is it? Let me share this window. Share Chrome tab.
Mhm.
This. So you click on it, and it will open up this,
Okay.
and this will give you a view of who bought it. So whatever that is. So sorry, who initiated the transaction, but then who
Mhm.
bought it. So here we can see on Mars bought it. And this is how I know whether it's done by the company or done by somebody else, because otherwise would have a different name here.
Right.
There's lots of broken down bits. So you have to, things like this is kind of the fees at different levels. But in reality, it's a little bit complex to see. But when you look at the whole transaction, you can see actually where did the majority go.
Gotcha. So that's probably an on Mars buyback right there.
So that's how I know it's an on Mars buyback. So on Mars, but that much sorry, dusk, and Lilith got that much wax. So that's how I know that.
Very cool.
Let me just flip back.
Back. Okay,
Yeah,
I
I'm
got it.
just going to flip back.
It's already on screen. Oops, sorry. There you go. You're back.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
So you have it on the 1 hour right now. I was looking at
Yeah.
the day chart, and it's looking pretty good since they started the buyback. It's obviously been helping to kind of keep it pretty flat. I mean, look at that. That's on an hour chart. It's hard to get an hour chart to look like that.
Yeah. I mean, the day chart.
Look at that.
uh,
That's a shelf.
Yeah, and it is because of the buyback. But I took the 24-hour volume here
Yeah, it's a big
and
part of it.
assume that I sold it at 0.8. So you're kind of talking what, coming up to 300k dusk a day, which, yeah, I'm trying to figure out is a lot or not. I don't feel that it is. I mean, that's everybody's withdrawals from the game in a day. Granted, it's not radium. I do appreciate it. It's not the soul side of things,
Hmm.
but I couldn't find a decent measure for that. But in
Yeah,
reality, I feel that the buyback is having the desired effect. Obviously, we jumped straight off a cliff as soon as they removed it or it expired. But given where the ambition of the game is, what this does show is that they care about the price. And the
right.
whole reason why we're having issue, well, whole reason why we're having dusk kind of nerfs within the game is to try and control the output. Because what we
Mhm.
don't want is this price collapsing whilst we just build the good infrastructure ready for all the new users to come and join us and come
Mm,
and share the experience of what's happening. Um, so there's a lot of due care and consideration going into this, which for me makes a really big difference. I've seen plenty of projects just die because they don't care about the price because they're getting what they want.
facts.
Now, I appreciate that you could look at this in a negative way and say, do you know what? Our earnings in game are being nerfed. Well, if your earning in games are worth a fraction of a cent because the price has gone through the floor, I don't think I'll be very happy without that either.
Yeah, right.
So,
100%. Yeah.
so for me, I mean, I kind of
Mhm.
like what they've done. I think it's a really good approach. I find the fact that they can, um, they're bolstering the price, or they're not bolstering it. They're just stabilizing it. They're just cutting out the dips.
For sure.
So yeah, anyway,
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
that's my view on the world.
there's no real there's no real negative side for us. I mean, it's dusk and more money potentially that they're actually losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, I mean, or they could be holding it or whatever, but it's like, yeah, I
I
think for
mean,
us, it's a great thing.
yeah.
And it definitely does show their support. They don't have to do it. A lot of games don't, you know. But yeah, it's a good thing. It's just like another thing that's going towards helping stabilize the price. I mean, we've had a lot of in-game burning of dust come into the play, like with packs being in the game and stuff like that, or different things you can buy, like the chapters for dusk, and not a lot of nefty drops anymore because most of that stuff's in game to help burn some dust. So it's like there a lot of things that they're doing is definitely I think it's helping. Yeah.
The chapters is really an interesting concept because the mom team don't get anything from Dusk. They don't sell the Dusk on the market. If
Mhm.
they if you buy something in the game for Dusk, it's just burn.
Right.
It's not that it's used to pay their wages or anything like that. They get no benefit from a Dusk sale.
Right.
What that means is that Kerry's given away a book for free. So imagine how much time and effort it's taken Kerry to write all of these chapters for it to be sold for Dusk. That's a
That's a good point.
huge level of commitment.
That is true. Thanks,
So
Carrie.
yeah, thanks,
Thank
Kerry.
you.
We
Everybody say hi to
appreciate it.
Carrie.
So so yeah, so whilst I understand that
Mhm.
actually people are disgruntled the fact that they're not earning the thousands of dust that they were earning before,
Mhm.
it, we got to understand the efforts that they're going to control this price because
Yeah.
yeah, it may not be coming out of their actual wallet, but actually the amount of time and energy they're spending, which they are giving away for free in essence, I think is huge.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely could be like capitalizing on it more or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to
Versus
take the
just,
game,
yeah, I think you're
take
right.
if they wanted to take the game to the cleaners, they could have done it in many ways and many times.
Hmm.
Um, and we all say, well, hang on. Well, we all say. Some people may voice the opinion to say, well, hang on, they're just drawing it out for longer to get more income in. What we've seen from the dust market is there's not new cash coming in at all. Very, very little. That's why they're having to prop it up.
Hmm.
So it's not like they're milking us for thousands of dollars of new revenues.
Makes
It's
sense.
largely we're paying for the wax and the dust, the wax and the soul stuff, the stuff from dusk that we've withdrawn from the game. So anyway, that's my view on the whole
No,
world.
no, that makes sense. And I think these are just some things we just have to do for this bear slash builders market, and we just
Yeah,
got to ride it out. Like eventually, things will get propped back up, and interest will kind of come back in. We know that like some of the best coins are down. Bitcoin's down, Ethereum's down. Two really good coins, and if they're having problems, of course, like the whole market's having some of these same problems. Interest is down. Before I couldn't walk around with people talking about Doge, just
yeah,
randomly. Like
yeah,
I'd go to the store, there'd be some 19, 20-year-old. I'm like, watch, this guy's got Doge. Hey, did you buy Doge? Yep, sure did.
yeah.
Like, and now, like, it's just whisper quiet everywhere. I see it on the YouTube channel. Views are down, like the interest, the algorithm, everything is down. But eventually that's gonna turn around. We're gonna bottom out and have a slow climb back up. Let's not get too excited. And eventually it'll be awesome times again.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to end up making a decision for yourself.
Mhm.
Do you believe crypto is dead or not? That's the only decision you need to make. Because if you think that it's dead, fine, leave the space, move on. If you don't think it's dead, well, you've got some fairly solid horses to back, and Millions of Mars is a
Mhm.
great game. So as long as it can survive this period of
Mhm.
negativity, it'll be in a great place to reap the rewards of it.
Yeah,
But if you do feel that actually it's all going to be a dead space, cut your losses now.
for sure. I mean, heck, if you haven't left by now, you're here. You're here for the
You're
long
here for
run.
good, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
You're that degenerate. You stuck around, so
yeah,
you're here for the long haul, which is I think is great myself. So,
yeah.
yeah, I'm excited. It's all right. My first bear market. It definitely isn't as fun as it was, 6 to 10 months ago, but
It,
it's nice to see it now because now I'm seeing, hey, I'm just seeing how all these things play out. Like, people are afraid or not interested.
mhm.
This might be the time where I need to, let's say buy when people are fearful, right?
So, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So it's like,
this is my second.
what do you do?
So I did the last one,
Okay.
and I was mining, and I was
Hmm.
mining Ethereum when it was released. I mean,
Ooh,
yeah, and I was
nice.
actually mining pre-Ethereum. So I was mining some stealth coin, and I remember taking the kids to an adventure park. And by the time I'd left the house and gone to the adventure park, I actually made 23 Bitcoin in like
Hmm.
2 hours. It was just mental.
Ethereum?
No, 23 Bitcoin.
Oh, you mined Bitcoin before?
Well, no, I sold the stealth coin that I was mining on some X11 algorithm and
Hmm.
just bought Bitcoin, and it was worth 23. And if
Nice.
I'd have kept it, I would have been worth fortunes. But of course, I sold it and took the kids on holiday. I mean, that's what you
Hmm.
did back then. And we then hit the bear market. And the problem with it wasn't a case of financials, or it wasn't a case of um, is the technology going to get hacked or which one's going to survive. It was a case of is this whole space dead? And that was the big fear at that time, was that actually it was a complete pipe dream, and everyone's just been taken for a ride, and there's no
Yeah,
value in it at all. And the fear was it was going to crash to zero. I challenge anybody who's bearish in this market at all to feel that it's going to zero. I don't think anyone believes it's going to zero.
Right.
So the conversation has changed from that bear market where you thought actually it's all dead to there's something here. It's just a cycle,
Hmm.
and it's a completely different outlook, and it has a very different feeling. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
I like it. It's yeah, cycles, man. They're real.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think we're just heavily influenced by the rest of the economies around the world, and I think that's largely what's driving most of it.
definitely. Now, I mean, we made enough noise. I think that you can see it. You can see people getting in all the time.
Mm.
Especially right now, like some of the stuff that's going on right now, and people who are getting in. If this happened like 10 months ago, we would have blew past 100K. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now that it's all like quiet, not interesting, it doesn't even make a splash. It's so interesting how that plays out. But
yeah.
it's
You bet
cool.
the finance institutions are making their move. They'll be hoarding in the background, and they'll be loving
Oh
this.
yeah, oh yeah. And then there's me. I'll
Yeah,
be
us
making
thinking,
making my little moves too.
yeah,
Uh,
the tiny, tiny moves that we have.
yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well, I think this might be it for MarsCast 9. I know well obviously MarsCast 10 is next week, and we're gonna try to do something probably maybe a little bigger, maybe some more
we're gonna
some
have a special one,
prizes,
are we?
special guests. Hopefully we can line that up and make it an interesting one because 10 weeks,
I can't believe we've
wow.
been going 10 weeks.
I know,
I can't
right?
believe that actually people want to watch me after 10 weeks. I thought they'd be bored
10
Richard by now.
weeks. And hours too. I'm gonna add up like all the videos hours and see what it's all at because I did half of them last time and it was a lot of hours, but
Yeah.
it's definitely climbing up if you add all 9 up now that we have. So yeah, 10 will
It's
be
good.
interesting. We'll have some prizes, we'll have some special guests hopefully, and go from there. Also, if you do want to be on the show, prefer you have a camera and be cool and respectable. And yeah, you're welcome to come on. So just hit me up in the Discord DMs if you ever want to come on and be a voice here. I don't care how small or big your settlement is. Just if you want to hang out, talk, and chill, let me know
I'd love to get some views from some of the smaller guys.
for
I
sure.
really, I mean, because I'm used to talking to people who have got quite large sort of mini empires themselves. I'd love to speak
Mhm.
to some guys who are starting out to understand the challenges, and yeah,
100%,
that'd be great.
100%. All right, guys, we'll see you in week 10. We'll have plenty of things for you. Thanks for sticking around. Have a good night.
Cheers.